Jealousy will have people hating on someone they should be learning from.
That's what Nigerian-American former linebacker Emmanuel Chinedum Acho has to say about Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. Simply put, he sees Sydney as someone younger athletes should look up to, and Sydney has proven that herself time and time again. She had rewritten history books several times in the sport. Suffice it to say that Sydney has cemented her name in track and field. In fact, many are inclined to think that McLaughlin was perhaps born to be an athlete. Even at the very young age of 16, Sydney competed at Rio 2016, having qualified third in the U.S. national trials. She eventually finished 16th overall, being eliminated in the semi-finals. At the time, her age caught the headlines. McLaughlin was the youngest athlete to qualify for the U.S. track team since 1980. While she wasn't expected to medal at such a young age, athletics fans still believed they saw a star in the making. And so they weren't at all surprised when a few years later at the 2019 World Championships in Doha, the young American won silver in the 400-meter hurdles. "I knew the race would be fast," said McLaughlin after the Worlds, "but I didn't think it would be that fast. I'm still young and I've learned so much." From there, Sydney just kept climbing up the ladder, or the podium if you want to be more technical. Because of this, many refer to Sydney McLaughlin as the new Queen of Athletics. In 2021, she became the first woman to run one of the hardest distances within 52 seconds. Her 51.90 performance made her the top favorite for the Tokyo Olympics, where she did not disappoint. It was amazing to see her shaving nearly half a second off her time in the Japanese capital to win the first Olympic gold medal of her career with 51.46 seconds. Still, Hayward Field is clearly one of her favorite venues, as not only did she take over the title of fastest 400-meter hurdler of all time from Muhammad, but she ran 51.41 at the 2022 U.S. Championships. She smashed that time just less than a month later, also in the sport's home of the USA, when she won the World Championships with a time of 50.68 seconds.
She has smashed the world record!
Anyhow, her charming smile, effortless running style, and fantastic results have made her a favorite of many in recent times. With 1.1 million followers on Instagram, she is already one of the most popular athletes, even though her entire career is almost ahead of her. This year alone, she has made her mark yet again. In early June, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone opened her first outdoor race of the season at the 2023 Paris Diamond League. It was then that she first strayed from the 400-meter hurdles, where she is the reigning Olympic and World Championship and 4 times broke the world record. When Sydney finished the race in second place, it came as a surprise, especially since it was her first 400-meter flat race in 5 years, and yet she outran the 2019 world champion. That's quite a start, both in her 2023 season and her 400-meter flat journey. Sydney's next race was at the NYC Grand Prix, where she ran against Gabby Thomas, who also specializes in a different event, but has decided to run in the 400-meter flat. While both are great athletes and outstanding runners in their respective events, it was Sydney who reached the finish line first. In an interview, Sydney admitted that the 400-meter sprint may have the same distance as her event, the 400-meter hurdles, but that's where the similarity stops. The flat is definitely harder in my opinion. It's hard to kind of figure out your cadence mid-race. At least with hurdles, I kind of know where I'm at. It's a different kind of pain, but the challenging good one, Sydney said. After that win, Sydney gained more confidence in running the 400-meter, so it wasn't surprising at all when she cruised to a 400-meter heat win on the opening day of the 2023 U.S. Track and Field Championships in Eugene. She then sprinted to a win at the U.S. Championships and claimed the national title with a time of 48.74 seconds at Hayward Field in Eugene, Oregon. What's more, she almost broke the American record of 48.70 set by Sanya Richards-Ross in 2006. She may not have done it, but that win made Sydney the third U.S. woman in history to run under 49 seconds, with her U.S. Championships in the 400-meter clocking at 48.74 seconds, which is also the fastest of the year so far. That time was just 0.04 seconds slower than Sanya Richards-Ross's American record, and put McLaughlin-Levrone 10th on the all-time list. The greats always push themselves, and I want to be one of them. So I have to push myself and get out of my comfort zone, McLaughlin told U.S. broadcaster NBC afterward. I'm just happy to be here. The fans, however, were anything but happy when Sydney announced her withdrawal at the Worlds this year. In an Instagram story, Sydney announced that she will not compete at the World Athletics Championships in Budapest, Hungary. "I am sad to share that I must withdraw from this year's World Championships meet in Budapest," wrote McLaughlin-Levrone. "After consulting with my doctors and coaches, I need to take care of a minor knee issue so that I can be fully healthy for next year's Paris Olympics. I look forward to seeing everyone back on the track soon." Still, everyone understood that it was best she put her well-being first. Everyone expects to see her better in all aspects the next time she races. Even the greats themselves recognize her talent. In fact, Olympic legend Jackie Joyner-Kersey's advice for Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone is, "Don't lose who you are." In an exclusive interview with Olympics.com, the track and field great spoke about the importance of being happy with what you're doing, the immense resilience it takes to perform with and bounce back from injuries, and why heptathlon is the greatest sport in the world. Jackie offered advice to Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. "It's very important you be surrounded by people you trust, but then also don't let the expectation of others pull your joy from the sport." Lisa Morgan, McLaughlin's youth coach, once shared, "That girl is the truth," as she recalled saying after seeing her run as a young teen. In an interview, Morgan provided a picture of McLaughlin as a prodigy in the making, and where she hopes the once-in-a-generation talent goes from there. "The first time I saw her run was her freshman year, the indoor season. She ran the 300 at the Armory in New York. She ran it in 38 seconds, and I was like, that girl is the truth." Morgan shared, "She basically came along and wiped most of my coaching records. Her coach built the team around her. I remember at the high school national championships, she walked down my girl in the Swedish relay. She ran this phenomenal anchor leg and nipped her right at the line." As Emmanuel Acho said,
So let's learn from Sydney, record-holding young black woman who is dominant in her field. Let's go.
This sentiment was echoed by now retired Allyson Felix, the most decorated female track and field athlete in Olympic history, a true great of the sport. "Sid has the potential to impact lives," Allyson said about Sydney. Six-time Olympic champion sprinter Allyson Felix heaped praise on Sydney. "I train alongside Sid every day, and what I notice the most is her tremendous potential, and not just as an Olympic athlete," she shared. "She has the potential to become the most outstanding 400-meter hurdler of all time, yes. But more importantly, Sid has the potential to impact lives. That is her greatest strength and her greatest opportunity." And speaking of athletes with great strength and opportunity, watch this to see how Noah Lyles fits the bill.